Hi, I am Kenya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's topic is something that has been on my heart that I want to share with you guys. And so I heard a quote recently that said, don't spend your whole life getting it together that you basically miss out on your life. And I feel like a lot of us are always waiting for the perfect time to just do things and to be great in our lives, and the time is now. Do it now. And I feel like a lot of years I was spending it getting my life together, getting my mental together, you know, just getting so many facets of my life together. I needed to have the right job, the right car, like all of these different things. And when I looked up, years had passed by, and after, you know, logging many hours of therapy, I realized like I was already like pretty much together, like. And I feel like a lot of us have that issue where we're constantly chasing the next thing. You're getting a bachelor's degree, but you're not enjoying the process because you're already focused on getting a master's degree. But I feel like I'm at a point in life where I'm just enjoying life. And it's so crazy because I was talking to this man on the phone and he's like, oh, well, what are your goals? Like, what do you plan to do in life? And like, what are you up to? And I literally said, oh, I'm just enjoying life. And he was like, huh? I said, I'm enjoying life, which I am. And he's like, so you don't have any goals? Like, you don't have nothing going on? Now, obviously I have goals, but my focus is to enjoy life. You only get one life, and from what the elders tell me, it goes like this. Honestly, my goals are my goals. You can't just share your goals with any old body, first of all. And firstly, I did not know this man like that, and I'm kind of weary of sharing like my goals and things I want to manifest with people like that. So I just basically kept it cute and I said, I'm enjoying life. And he was so put off and taken aback. And I will always think when I was younger that if I'm not actively doing something or showing that I'm doing something, meaning like letting like Instagram know I'm working on this, or you know, constantly talking about what I have going on. If it looks like I have nothing going on, then it seems like I have nothing going on in my life, which is not true. You just gotta learn how to move in silence, but enjoy your life. I say the time is now, the time is now. And so I had an aunt who was always saying that she was waiting to retire to travel. So when she retired, like she was helping out with her grandchildren, then her knees started getting bad, then she had to get knee replacements, and so now she can't even travel because she can't walk for long periods of time for long distances. I remember we went on like a family reunion to like the Bahamas. So we got off the boat and she basically like just sat like in the food court and like, you know, did like her own thing while we basically explored because of her knees. So stop waiting until the right time to live your life, live it now. And I used to be like that too. I would say, oh, well, I don't want to travel because I don't have anybody to travel with. That was my main thing. And I remember telling someone I hadn't been on vacation in 5 years and they were like, why? I was like, because I don't have anybody to travel with. And so then I would travel, but then I would pay for my son to come with me so I could have somebody to travel with. And my son, like, he's like he's a kid. He's just like, all right, mom. He's just going with me as a courtesy, but it's not like places that like he really wants to go, or like, it's just he's coming as a courtesy to me because I want somebody to travel with. And I remember a friend of mine posted on his Instagram stories that him and his wife went to Mexico, and I was like, wow, well, where did you go in Mexico? And then he's telling me how he liked it, and I was like, I would love to travel more, I just don't have anybody to travel with. And he was like, travel by yourself. He was like, you could solo travel. And then he was telling me how he follows a girl on Instagram and he's like, she goes everywhere by herself. So he tells me her Instagram, I forget what it was. I go to her Instagram page, homegirl is living her life. Jamaica, Panama City, Panama. She is everywhere. So I said, okay. So over a year ago, I was planning a trip to Paris. I bought myself a ticket and my son a ticket. At the last minute, my son couldn't go. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going solo travel. And guess what? I've been solo traveling ever since, okay? I haven't looked back. And I just booked a 2-week vacation, like, out of the country. You guys will see where I'm going next in a couple months. But yes, do it right now. And then when I solo travel, I do like little excursions and tours, and I always meet other solo travelers that are mostly from England or Canada or from the US. And there's so many people that are solo traveling. They're just up and they just go about their lives. And it's like, people think, well, how can you have fun if you're solo traveling? When you solo travel, I'm telling you, when you book these tours and excursions, you're gonna meet people, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun, you know? I think it's just a mindset, it's perception. Book the trip, live your life. You don't wanna be waiting around for other people to live your life. Even people who are like plus size and they're waiting until they lose 25 pounds or 100 pounds to start dressing like they want to dress. No, girl, it doesn't matter if you are 100 pounds or 400 pounds. Put the clothes on, get dressed, start living for now, okay? I can remember talking to one of my aunts, my grandmother's sister, and she would tell me like, girl, back in the day, I used to go out, I used to be in Harlem, Spanish Harlem, and like she would just be telling me like all the things she was up to in her youth. My grandmother, on the other hand, was the polar opposite. My grandmother would save her good clothes for special occasions only. She wasn't like outgoing as my aunt. She didn't believe in like dressing fancy and nice and buying nice things like my aunt did. Also, you want to live your life as a young person so that when you are an older woman, you're not bitter. And my grandmother and I used to always get into it because my grandmother would see me as a young person living my life, going to Miami with my friends and just doing me. And my aunt always used to say, she's just mad because you're living your life and she didn't do anything. Like, she just was wasting her life and you are living it up. And I could tell my aunt was the same way as me. Like, she was hitting the streets, okay? She lived her life. So live your life, okay? So when I say I'm living my life, that's what I mean. And I plan to get me a massage this weekend too, a deep tissue massage, because self-care is a part of living your life. As far as self-care for me goes, I'm pretty low maintenance, I feel. I get my nails done like once a month and it lasts me like a whole month. Also, private is kept. My maintenance is low for the simple fact that I feel like these services are time consuming. Like, I don't want to be in a nail shop. I don't want to be in a hair salon. Like, it's time consuming. So that's really the main reason why I'm pretty low maintenance, but this is just self-care. Nails, toes, I got my eyebrows microbladed so that I don't have to keep fixing them every day. Very low maintenance. I can just get up and go if I want to. I go to the hair salon every 10 to 12 weeks so I can keep up with my trims, because you have to take care of your hair, you know? I've just been reflecting on all the times that I told myself I can't do this because I'm not where I want to be. And like, I spent so many years in therapy trying to get my mental correct, which I feel like everybody should, because I felt like I'm not going to be good enough for the person that I want because, you know, I have childhood trauma. I remember thinking, like, this is when I was younger, I would have like nice coats, leather jackets, little fox fur, and I had an old car, and I would never wear those coats because I'm like, I can't be seen getting out of the old car with the fancy coats and the designer purse. Listen, put your fancy coats on, put your designer on, and get in the car. Okay? Nobody cares anyway. Let's be real. Now I have a 2012 car. It's pretty older, but I don't care. It still works, right? It's still running. And I remember I only got that car because I was dating this dude who kept talking about my car was old and you must ain't got no money. Listen, I did have the coin, but in order to prove that no, I wasn't broke, I went out and bought a new car. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it for you. Enjoy it for you and not for other people. Even my apartment that I live in now, it's a rent stabilized apartment. When I moved in, I thought it was going to be like a temporary situation, because when I moved in, for me, it was like a downgrade from the places that I had lived previously. So I was never interested in decorating. And then one day I looked around and I was just like, you know what? I need to spruce up the place, zhuzh up the place. And even though it's a rent stabilized apartment, I could still put my own spin on the apartment. I was also inspired by watching like YouTube channels, Homeworthy, Architectural Digest, apartment home tour channels, and I noticed that a lot of these people have pre-war apartments in major cities, mostly New York City, and how when they move in and how they just put their own little spin on it and how it just looks amazing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm about to do that. And that's what I've done essentially. And stop waiting for the perfect time. I kept saying I'm waiting until I move into a better apartment to furnish it the way I want to. Stop waiting. And it's not like my apartment is just like I'm living in squalor or it's just so terrible. It was built in 2001, so it's just a little outdated, but it's a nice spot, okay? it's nice. So the message in this video is stop waiting. The time is now. You are enough, and most likely you are together. I feel like our biggest enemy is our mind. There's always this loud chatter in our mind telling us you're not good enough, this person doesn't like you, like you won't be able to get that job, you're not gonna be able to pull off those shoes that you ordered just yesterday. And it's all in our heads. I'm currently working on that battle, but life is short, and do the things that you want to do today. All right, so I hope that this message resonates with someone, and if so, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And I would like to thank you guys for coming to kick it with me today, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles.